Content over everything. It's made up as you go along. That's the difference. Sunniism is made up.
Christianity, by contrast,
oh, come on.
the church is a faith that learns from its mistakes and is willing to allow itself to be informed by learning from society. That includes science. And so we know that children are not able to make cognitive decisions of the magnitude necessary to agree to marriage at 9 or at 13, as some Christians used to practice in the past. And so you won't find churches today arguing for child marriages, because we have learned from secular sciences that the emotional, physical and mental development of children is too young at 9, at 13. And we know that children need a legal age of consent to protect them from manipulation by their families and communities into doing that which is wrong. That is why you can't walk into a church with a 14-year-old child, even if she says, I am mentally, physically unable to marry. You can't. It's illegal. Children need this legal protection. Islam does not provide it. Liberal secular laws, therefore, are superior to Sharia law.
I actually previously said they do protect. And you also, I've only pulled up one source for regarding consent. I can't find the other yet. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. But over here, Aisha asked the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam if women must be asked for their permission on marriage.
Yep.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, yes. She said the virgin is asked for her permission but gets shy. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said her silence is her permission. So, from that hadith,
the silence is her permission.
Yeah, just because she's shy.
What happens if she's afraid?
Nah.
Mohammed.
عارف بس
Mohammed.
دقيقتين.
Forget Shamsi the first for a second.
Shams, come, Shams.
You said that.
Come, Shams.
You said, Mohammed,
Yes.
you just said, you quoted a hadith
Yes,
that just said
Come, help him.
that a virgin's silence is her consent.
Due to
And your interpretation of her silence, that she must be shy. What happens if she is silent, Mohammed, because she is afraid? Sharia law, that, as you have just narrated from the hadith that you are using to defend your case, is a cause of injustice. No. Are you saying that a virgin can't be silent because she's scared? Answer the question. Can a virgin be silent because she's scared?
no, because she would speak up eventually.
Do you think? Do you think this is called this is wishful thinking, Mohammed?
No, it's not wishful thinking.
Has no idea about marriage.
This is not. This is.
You've just
the hadith is
no.
not
Don't let
about
him get off the
virgin
point. The point that he's making is that
You
silence is interpreted as consent. What kind?
No, this is not just. That's only in terms of a
You
shy
have to ask the old women that
In
got married at age. You have to
In
ask
the
them.
Christian church,
let me have a
brother,
conversation with
let me
the
show to you that the Christian faith is better than Islam. In the Christian faith, you cannot marry unless you give positive consent. And that has been the Christian practice since the sacrament of marriage.
Is that all cultures of Christians though?
No. The point that I'm making
it's not.
is that he is now suggesting that silence is consent.
No, just by
That's
a
a
shy
culture he's
woman.
talking about.
Read the hadith again. Where does it say shy?
Okay.
We need a Jew here or a Hebrew.
The virgin is asked
what I'm
for her
saying is in
permission.
certain cultures.
No,
that's
let
what it
him
means.
let him say it.
Go ahead.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, may I read it?
Yeah. Sure. The virgin is asked permission, but she gets shy.
Right. So, where is it? Which one?
This one here.
This one.
So first of all,
Aisha asked the Prophet Muhammad
yeah, go on.
if women must be asked for their permission of marriage. The Prophet Muhammad replied, yes. She said, the virgin is asked for her permission, but she gets shy. Prophet Muhammad said, her silence is her permission.
Right, two parts of that hadith. All right, the first one was positive consent,
Yeah.
and the second one was if the woman is shy. All right.
Silence, brother,
Silence, okay.
is not consent. Silence can be for many reasons.
No, you can.
Was Aisha infallible?
You can give
Was
consent.
Aisha infallible?
No, of course not.
So when she said that the virgin might be shy, can she speak for every woman that is silent?
But the Rasul ﷺ, he replied to that, and he said, when she's shy, yes, that her silence is. So
how can
the question, she posed the question.
Yeah.
He answered, right?
Yeah.
So it's not her saying. So to say that she was infallible based on this hadith it doesn't make sense because she posed the question.
Yes, she posed the question, but your prophet said that silence is consent.
And there are many cases where you can give consent with your silence.
There are many cases, but when it comes to marriage, brother, when it comes to marriage, silence is not good enough. There can be many reasons why someone is silent. And you cannot assume that because someone is silent, they're just shy. This is kind of mad thinking. Can you not see the illogical reasoning there? Look, philosophically, philosophically, you never make an argument from silence. Do you know why?
Why?
Because from silence you can make any argument you want to.
Any assumption.
Any assumption. So if someone is silent, yeah,
that doesn't apply to all the.
if someone is silent, you cannot assume that it's the reason that they're shy.
Unless it's a cultural expression. Unless, listen, it's a simple thing. If in that culture, yeah, there is a way of saying yes, but in their way of saying yes, they keep silent. That is their cultural norm. Do you understand? There's some people that might have that way. The problem is if you try and take that idea across other cultures.
Demonstrate to me that in the 7th century that was the case. What evidence are you using?
I'm saying.
You can't demonstrate what happened.
You can't, exactly. But you're holding it as a moral example for today.
You're talking about 7th century. Hold on.
Providing a source about the
we don't need 7th
consent
century. You can do it now. In Yemen and various other places, in certain cultures.
Oh, Yemen.
In Yemen.
Yemen.
I'm from Yemen.
Yemen. Yeah.
I'm not saying Yemen is the best example.
Well, surely good.
Is that true?
But it's Yemen.
It is true.
I'm saying to you, even if we go to these cultures now,
Yeah.
and they're practicing it now and they're Islamic, you can't tell if that's how they was before these hadith he's talking about or after. Do you see what I'm saying? So for instance, the silence aspect could have come from the hadith or it could have been prior to the hadith. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So I'm saying you can't really measure it. No, what I'm saying is...
we can measure it. We can measure it.
What I'm saying is you can't say...
We can measure it.
What I'm saying, you can't say, with the information of Arabia, right?
No, we can measure it. Shall I tell you how we can measure it? Firstly, let's dismiss this myth that all cultures are equal and that somehow all cultures are equally good or bad. The reality is, some cultures are just simply better than other ones. And that is a damn fact. You're never going to convince me that female genital mutilation is somehow superior to cultures that don't practice female genital mutilation.
Is that the case?
And cultures that assume shyness is consent is not superior to those cultures that say silence is not consent.
That's far-fetched. That one, them two are not comparable, mate. They're not comparable.
Particularly in that case.
That's not
Don't put that
comparable.
one to all the case.
But
For 1 point for Muslims, silence is the answer. That's wrong.
But Muhammad made a legal ruling that is applicable in Sharia. So you quoted that hadith. You quoted that hadith to demonstrate.
Somebody else's
Bob, I quoted that hadith to demonstrate that.
Take care.
So
you quoted that hadith
to demonstrate that there is consent given, and consent has to be given by the female.
So you're selectively using that hadith. You're saying the bit that works with my argument I use, and the bit that embarrasses me I don't use.
It's not the bit that embarrasses me because I haven't run away from it. Alright? But there is that first part of the hadith, yeah,
talks about giving consent.
It's clear cut. The second one, we could debate about.
So what you're doing is you're selectively using your sources. You're saying the bit that helps my argument is the valid bit, and the bit that embarrasses me, the bit that makes Sharia look bad, we will debate that. No, use your sources fully.
Let me explain
myself. Checkmate. No, it's not checkmate.
Hold on, let me just make this point. Jump in. Like I said, because one part is very explicit. We don't need to
They're
discuss
both explicit.
No.
It's clearly explicit in both parts.
One is, no, it is not.
The second one, we can debate on, the
silence,
philosophical grounds and the cultural grounds, and that moves us into a whole different topic. That's why I'm leaving it aside. It's not because I'm trying to run from it.
But you are running from it.
No.
You are running from it.
I'm leaving it to a side.
This is your source. You brought it up. This is the evidence you provided.
To answer your question
yes, and what you're trying to do is, you're trying to say that I have to use this source selectively as you. No. Your source is saying, yes, you have to ask for consent, but if someone is shy and is silent, their silence is taken as consent. I'm saying to you that we have a better way in the church. The better way in the church that you should follow is simply that the woman and the man must give verbal consent to be married. If Sharia law is the best system of law, defend it for what it is.
So if a woman comes to the church and she's shy and she doesn't give...
she can't marry.
She can't marry. So even though she may want to marry, but she's too shy to say so.
If she is... Ask a question.
If the woman comes and she wants to marry... X, but she's too shy to say it.
Yeah.
That means she cannot get married.
Yeah.
That means she cannot get married.
Yeah.
Simply because she hasn't said it.
Right. So the question is a fair one. The question.
I'm sorry, but because the conversation is ridiculous, having too many people jump in.
Yeah. Mohammed's question is a fair one. I've asked Mohammed some questions. He's been decent enough to answer. I owe it to him to reciprocate. He's asked the question that if a woman enters into a church and she is too shy to give consent, but it's only because she's shy, does that mean she can't marry? The answer categorically and absolutely is yes, she cannot marry.
How do you know?
Because in the church you cannot marry unless you exchange vows. And the exchanging of vows means that you must... So you have to give them... Hold on one second.
I'll let you finish.
Let me finish.
You have to deal with
So you asked the question, what happens if the woman is silent? I am saying to you. I am saying to you.
Orthodox Christianity all
in different
areas where what he's saying doesn't apply.
That's not true. You're lying. Don't lie about my faith. Don't lie about my faith. Don't lie about my faith.
I want to hear his point of view. What he follows.
The point that I'm making to you.
There's no point going
the point I'm making to you.
All Christianity, because he follows one.
For a marriage to be valid in the Christian church, the following must happen. There must be an exchange of vows that are given honestly and unforced.
We have something similar.
Yeah,
exchange of vows. You mean they say yes?
They exchange vows.
What do they say?
And those vows.
What do they say?
Those vows are personable to the couple.
Do they say the vows or do they say yes and I do?
Those vows are personable to the couple.
Do they read one woman? Do they read the whole vows?
The ceremony.
Read all the vows.
The ceremony. Brother, I'm trying to address his question. May I address his question? May I address... Stop interrupting. I'm talking to Mohammed, not to you. Stop forcing yourself into this conversation.
No, I have to.
I want to talk to Mohammed.
You weren't a Christian,
Brother,
I was.
Stop forcing yourself into this conversation.
He does need my help.
I'm talking to Mohammed. You're right, he does need your help, but I want to talk to him. My question to Mohammed... You've asked me a question. In the Christian faith, vows must be exchanged between the couple and they cannot be forced. They must be freely given. Okay? That's the first thing. And then there must be a consummation. That is it. Those are the two criteria that are needed. Now, for lots of other socio-political and economic reasons, we have come to the point now in the church that those vows must be given publicly.
Yeah.
But it has always been understood that it is a free choice, it is an articulated choice with vows, and that it is consummated.
Do you know that we also have a process as well in Islam? The silence itself, the silence itself. That's just the.
He don't want to sitting up, bro. Hear what I'm saying? He's talking about vows, yes?
Yes.
It's a very simple thing. The vows are normally read out by someone else. The person says, I do. Hear what I'm saying?
Not
they
always
say,
true.
I agree. But I'm saying for the most part, they say I do or yes, etc.
Yes.
It's a simple thing. So he's talking about vows as though the person.
The vows are given.
Wait, stop.
I was going to come back on that.
I'm saying he's trying to say that you read the whole vow thing. When you reduce it to a very simple yes, I do or whatever, it becomes very narrow now. So the person could just nod their head according to culture.
No.
Or or keep silent.
No.
Or the point is, if the parents, the person, let's say the girl is shy, and she's discussed with her parents, yes, I like him, but she herself is not going to say yes verbally. Once there's a discussion between the parents, that's up to them.
What evidence can you marshal to show this, please?
Stop. I'm saying you cannot superimpose 2018's culture of liberalism and all these different things upon cultures of the past.
Right.
Do you understand? All cultures, all cultures where there's villages all over this world. Christian, Muslim, Jewish, whatever. Do you understand? So him just coming with this westernized version of Christianity, this modernized version of Christianity, does not work around the world.
You have successfully forced your way into this conversation. So let me correct you. Let me correct you. Let me correct you.
Do you remember the point?
Correct you. Let me correct you.
Yeah, let me remember the points.
So he's trying to argue. Go on. He's trying to argue that there are examples of cultures and civilizations where this giving of consent is not articulated. So let's look at the Coptic and Ethiopian churches. The Coptic and Ethiopian churches are African churches rooted in Africa, and their ceremonies are as old as anything in Europe. They are as antiquated. I can't even say the word. Antiquated as anything found in Europe, and their faith is as equally valid and apostolic as anything found in Europe. This myth pushed by the Islamic Dawah team that Christianity is an imposition on Africa is a complete myth. In their church services, the women also say, I do. The women also give vows. This is something that is common amongst all Christian churches. Now, I'm asking you.
I would like to come back on this.
Hold on. I'm asking. No.
It's not true at all.
Right. What I want from you. Is something that we can go away and look into to see where Christianity is practiced, where this consent is not given verbally.
Right.
Where shall I research, please?
Romania.
Romania. Okay, I'll do that. That's Orthodox. Romanian Orthodox.
Where they still marry the girls at 12. By the way.
That's not true.
What do you mean that's not true?
Hold
on, stop. Listen to him.
In America.
How old are the boys? 20
United States. In Texas, you can get married at the age of 13.
I think one was 27.
If you go to Arizona, age 14. If you go to New York, it's age 16. Sorry.
So Romania, the age of
the government
age
in the different part of the
is
world,
16 as far as I know.
Right. Nigeria 11. He said
the culture 12.
See you next week.
I got a Romanian brethren.
Age of consent in Romania.
I'm not talking about the laws, I'm talking about the culture, the church culture. That's what we're talking about, the church. He's mentioning the church. What are you saying? Here we go, bro.
We're talking about law.
No, stop. We're talking about the church, sorry. No, we're not.
Let's get back to the central point.
Okay.
Because if we're talking about law, when Christianity says there's no homosexuality...
How'd you get Latvia?
No. Latvian Parliament. I asked for age of Google. What are you doing to me, man?
No, stop.
I asked for age of consent in Romania. It gives me the Latvian
We're not
Parliament.
talking about the government, we're talking about the church, the Christian culture.
Hold on.
Look at that in there.
Romania age of consent. Let's have a look.
The Christian... I'm saying that him trying to superimpose this idea that Christianity is this monolithic way of doing things, that you have to say yes verbally, and that they've grown and evolved in regards to age of consent in marriage, is absolute garbage.
Right.
In Europe, I'm saying I've got Romanian
the brother has just been fact-checked and he is wrong.
How?
He said that the age of consent...
I didn't say that.
Romanians were still marrying children at 12.
Yes.
The reality is that the age of consent in Romania is 15 years old.
He lied. Don't lie.
He lied.
You know what?
It's right there. What does that...
Okay,
you read it.
Stop.
Read it.
I didn't say the law.
Read it.
Go to the culture.
Read it.
There was a recent case, in fact, either this year or late last year, where
We are comparing the
culture.
law
No, we're not.
of Sharia.
No, we're not. We are comparing Christian culture.
We're talking about Sharia law.
Christian culture.
Suddenly he wants to shift the debate off Sharia law and talk about culture. We're talking about law. You've got fact check. All right, brother, read that for us. Read it. What's he say? Loud and clear.
The age of consent
type in.
in Romania is 15 years old.
All right,
thank you very much.
Hold on,
He
stop.
said he was 12, he lied.
I didn't say that, are you serious? I'll say it again.
This is why I wanted to respond. He thought I was in the corner.
All right, you let's get back to our conversation.
No. This is why it's difficult when people. So in Sharia, even if a virgin is silent, and Rasul he said that that's her permission, you will eventually know that this is false because there are several steps afterwards. Yeah, just her saying, just her like being shy, in the first meeting or whatever. Afterwards, you have the nikah, which you know about, in which they need to make sure that she wants to, and that's where she actually needs to give verbal.
So can you demonstrate from the hadith or the Sirat literature where Aisha had her nikah?
I did have the reference, I forgot it now.
She didn't.
No, she did have her nikah.
She might have. I genuinely don't know. I am genuinely asking. I don't know the answer to that
She
question.
did have the nikah.
So can we find where Aisha had it? But continue making your point.
The Prophet talked to the father, Abu Bakr.
Oh, look at this, brother. Hold on.
Yeah.
Romanian gypsy children become engaged aged 6 and 4.
Okay.
Wait.
Engaged.
Romanian. Stop.
You're trying to.
You do that while
I'll
try and bring the
What I'm
source,
saying to you lot is, when I put to this guy the Christian tradition, all of a sudden, this guy wants to change it. All right, a 12-year-old Christian girl getting married in Romania.
Yeah.
Okay? That was the thing I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Why did you not go into that, which I said? I mentioned the age of 12.
Yeah.
They had a story where a guy who was in his 20s, he got arrested.
Yeah.
Because
Good.
his wife was
Good. He got arrested. Good.
Stop.
Good. So why don't we arrest? Why wasn't Mohammed arrested?
You're not listening. What are you doing?
What are you
Is this a
doing?
joke thing, like?
Like, dude,
So,
you're
my
here.
God, was God arrested? How old is God?
Is Mohammed God?
Hold on, Mary
Mohammed God?
Who impregnated Mary?
Where's the
How did we get to God?
Your God, did he
Where
get
is
arrested?
her age?
Wait.
How old was she?
You tell me, how old was Mary?
We don't know her age.
But God is a lot older than Mary, right?
We don't know her age.
Hold on, what's the age gap between God and Mary?
Have you heard this one?
What's the age gap? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know how the conversation carries. I'm still looking for it. I'm sorry. I'm still looking for the source.
Okay.
We're talking about the culture.
The culture.
I'm saying to you, the discussion was, which we were having. Stop. I'm saying I mentioned that in Romania, in their Christian culture, they still marry at age 12.
Yes.
I'm saying not only did I hear it from a Romanian friend, I also got it from a newspaper article.
And you'll find.
Stop. What
And you'll find.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, wait.
Hold on 1
Just finish
second.
this bit. I'm saying to you that when you come and read it back to me now, you're talking about the government and their laws. I'm talking about the Christian culture in the land. Do you understand?
So let's just address that point. Let's address that point.
Right.
Firstly, he's not the only one that's got Romanian friends.
Right.
And he's not the only one that's been to Romania. The fact of the matter is that Romanians see themselves as very different from gypsies. And the Romanians would condemn a lot of the practices of the gypsy people.
What's that got to do with what I said?
Let me finish.
They are
I am going to relate
Are
it
you
back.
trying to say that?
Can I relate it back?
Are you saying
Can I relate it back?
Go ahead.
Thank you. So,
But are the Romanians,
can I relate
are
it
the
back?
gypsies Christians?
Can I relate it back?
Are they Christians?
Can I relate it back?
Of course you can.
Thank you.
But
So,
are they Christians though?
can I relate it back?
Yes, you can. What's
Can I
up?
relate it back? Right, be quiet for a second. Let me do
You
that.
agree they're Christians?
Let me do that.
Because
Not deny
you
it.
said Christians, right?
Not deny it. So,
Okay, you're not denying it. So
so
they're Christians, right?
the issue that we were talking about was the practice of the church about giving verbal consent, and he has changed the topic back to age of consent.
No.
Now, furthermore,
if they're too young, they can't give consent.
according to
You
Sharia
said if they're too young, they can't give consent.
and the Christian faith, the church in Romania. Let me ask you this question. The Romanian Orthodox Orthodox Church.
There's not one church.
Can you produce me?
There's not
Can
one
you
church.
produce
Don't
me
try it.
the state of
There's
the?
not one church.
Show
You're
me
not
the
listening.
churches in Romania.
Not listening, is he?
Show me the churches in Romania
You're not
that are
listening.
advocating
You're not
for
listening.
this practice
You're
of the
not listening.
gypsies.
The point is,
Show me. Show me.
The proof is
Your hadiths are talking about your prophet, and your prophet is someone who had sex with a child.
That's not my hadith.
Now,
That's not my hadith.
the point that we were
I don't
talking
accept that.
about.
I don't accept that.
Are you Shia?
Yes, I am.
You're Shia. So why do you reject the hadiths of the Sunni?
Because the Sunnis have made up a lot of hadith to support their own religion.
What about those hadiths that come from Aisha?
Well, they say a lot of hadith come from Aisha, but they just put it on the top of it.
Okay,
their
so
agenda.
so what you're saying is his hadiths are not trustworthy.
Not all of them. Some
Not
of
all
them
of
are.
them.
Yeah.
No,
A lot of them are
Ones he
Okay,
likes.
so
Let's just finish
let's
this.
be clear.
No,
No, hold on. There's a point here.
Okay,
There's
go
an
on.
important point.
Yeah.
The hadiths are used to interpret the Quran, and the Muslims are in no agreement about which hadiths are reliable. If the Muslims themselves cannot agree upon which hadiths are reliable to interpret the Quran, where does this leave Sharia? This so-called perfect system of laws. You yourselves don't agree.
Stop.
Have mercy, Bob.
Stop.
Have mercy.
There's no need for mercy here. Unfortunately, you probably have not studied the difference between Sunni and Shia.
I have some of it.
I used to be a Christian, I used to be a Sunni, and now I'm so-called Shia. What they call Shia, I call true Islam. Yeah? I'm not an orthodox Shia. In other words, I do not practice their culture, I practice what is based upon the Quran. Yeah? The Sunnis, for the most part, do not use the Quran as the standard for measuring hadith. They use the chain of narration. Yes? Especially, obviously, the Wahhabis and Salafis. That is the weakest methodology for authenticating hadith. So it's not very difficult to find out which hadith is authentic in regards to a lot of what they say. So when you talk about Sharia law, etc., for instance, the age of Aisha, let's deal with that one as an example, yeah?
Okay.
So, hold on, brother, hold on. In regards to age of Aisha, I'm going to give you... Brother, wait, brothers. No, I want to tell you this. Brother, have you got a good sound over it? Why? All right. Okay, let me explain this to you. The reason why they put Aisha's age at 9...
The Sunnis.
No.
Yeah,
I'm talking. The reason why they put her age at 9...
But you took... Have you found that source?
Yes, I have. But
Okay,
for this.
right.
Let me just say this one thing. This very simply.
If you can say it quickly,
It's very
because
quickly.
I want to come back to what we were talking about.
Very quickly, right? It relates to the position of Imam Ali, yes? The Shia argument back then, and even now, is that Imam Ali was one of the reasons was that he was the best person for the Caliph, because he moved into the Prophet's house at age 5.
You don't need to tell, I know this.
Hold on, wait.
Common knowledge.
This bit you don't know. Is that the reason they put her age at 9 is because he became a Muslim at 10. So to make her seem more authoritative in regards to narrating hadith, they would make up hadith, put her name at the beginning.
So your argument is that we can't trust Sunni hadith because they made them up.
Not all of them.
By sticking a name at the top.
Not just sticking a name at the top.
I agree with you that hadiths are deeply unreliable as a source of history.
Some of them.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So you've made your point. Go on. You've got this reference.
Yes.
I've actually forgot what the reference was. About the
nikah.
Yeah.
There you go.
What's it
Aisha
say?
reported that the Prophet wrote the marriage contract with her when she was 6 years old and consummated his marriage when she was 9. Hisham says, I have been informed that Aisha remained with the Prophet for 9 years till his death. So
Okay.
Bukhari and there's a source.
So sorry, what is the niqab there? Where is the niqab?
Nikah. The marriage contract is what we call the nikah.
When was that written?
When she was 6.
Right, but you were using this as a hold on. You used the reference to the nikah as a demonstration that someone could give a responsible consent to marriage. That was if you when you play this conversation back.
No, I recall the conversation.
Right. So, but you're actually telling me that a 6-year-old now is in a compass mental situation that they can legally agree to.
Just reject the hadith.
Come take away everything from your humanity. Man say it straight. Man don't listen to BBC. Man don't listen to
You can't help him now.
Reject the hadith. By who?
By Bukhari.
I agree. The science of hadith is a joke, and the idea of hadith is a joke.
The Sunni science.
Yeah.
The Sunni science.
But my point to you, if you remember the
hadith and
conversation we're
done.
having,
Oh my
if you remember the conversation we're having, I was talking about why the Christian practices are superior
This is
to
where Bob
Sharia
gets his
law,
confidence.
and I said it was about
How can you
verbal
argue
consent,
And I went on to say that we have to also give the...
and then you use the naka, yeah, right, but you've just given a reference